Do you have no fears? Would you be able to do that? Would you be able to do that? I have no fear. No, and neither do you. You don't have fear. Fear is a process. Fear is a process of the HPA axis, the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal. In other words, this is the stress release, the stress response. Cortisol is what is released, and it prepares us for the moment of fear, the moment being fight, flight, or freeze. And this is where the rest of the brain shuts down, and the only part that is activated or still active is the frontal cortex. In other words, we're going into survival mode. We're in oh shit mode. Either we fight, this dude's gonna get it, or we flight, peace, or we freeze. Oh God, oh God. And so it's a process, right? The HPA axis is like, oh, we're getting kind of close. We're getting closer. No, oh shit, ah. But you see, this stress response can be lowered. The HP axis can be lowered. I like to think of like, the pot of boiling water. It's getting more. Now it's over the top, and the pot has blown its lid, and we're pissed, or we're getting out of here, or whatever it is. So to say that we have fears is usually not correct. Usually what we're talking about is there was a moment when the fear response had risen to where we needed to survive. And so usually we have memories of a moment where the fear response had risen to such a degree. So we say we have fear. But what we really have is we have an anticipated concern for something that looks or feels or we sense is something like the moment of fear. So I think it's more accurate to say I have concerns. And at any rate, when we're looking to heal these traumatic situations, traumatic events, they get caught in our body. And so there is a part in one of our bodies, and it's not always physical. Sometimes it's the emotional body or the etheric body, which is actually just like outside of our body, just outside of our body. And so we still don't know exactly where memories come from. However, there does seem to be a memory bank. And so this currency can sometimes result in entropy because we're not able to work with it. We're not able to get to it. And we often can't do it on our own. We don't know what we don't know. And so if it's unconscious, what we need, this is the romantic aspect of life that I love, we need the other. We need the other to reflect to us what we can't see, what we can't hear, what we can't feel. How do we listen to these aspects of ourselves when we don't know how to put on our thinking ears or our heart ears? Because this is exactly what it's about. So through our perception, we are feeling, sensing, thinking, observing that the behavior of someone else is showing us that there's lack. There's only one thing to lack, that's love. There are only two actions in this life, an act of love or a cry out for that love. The cry out is when the younger version of us thinks that something is lacking. That something is always love. Now I say younger version of us because all we have is now. And then, or when we have a memory, it was younger than us. Even if I got in a car accident 10 minutes ago, it's still a younger version of me. And there's likely going to be trauma in some sort of a car accident, some sort of trauma to some degree. So you do not have any fears. You have concerns, or, okay, maybe you're having a fear right now in this moment watching this video. It's not likely, but maybe you're actually having a stress response. But when you're sitting with your friend at the table and you're like, oh, I have fear of cats. Oh, well, this is unfortunate, because if there was a moment when you were younger than you are now, and a cat attacks your face, and your stress response goes all the way up, you're boiling, and you throw the cat off you, and you're like ready to duke it out with the cat. Come on, cat, what's up, cat? But now, the story that you tell from here on suggests, I have a fear of cats. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. There was one cat in one moment, and not all cats are that way, but if that memory is still cycling in you, it's likely that the rest of the cats are going to feel that and sense that, and maybe they're kind of like, oh, I don't really know if I trust you. You're carrying this energy against my kind, and I'm kind of part of my kind, and so I kind of want to attack you. So this is how it works. It's saying that we create our own reality is not the whole story. So neither is I have fears. It's just not enough. So let's unpack this. Maybe we don't even need to use the word fear anymore. I have a concern. I have a memory of a moment that I got attacked by a cat. It's not okay for me. Get correct with your language, and let's do it together. Perhaps we don't have to use fear anymore. By the way, fear is not the opposite of love. Indifference is the opposite of love. Fear is something else. We don't need to use it. Aloha.